Astronauts spending long time in space have greater dementia risk, according to a new study. NASA study, of course. Researchers are now working to solve all these issues as space agencies prepare to launch manned missions to Mars. Besides the moon, the journey to the red planet lasts 200 to 300 days. Astronauts who spend long periods of time in space are been found to have greater risk of developing dementia. A new study conducted by scientists from the University of Texas says they analyzed MRI scans of 11 astronauts taken before and after their flights to the International Space Station, the ISS. They concluded that the lack of gravity in space makes their brains swell and cerebrospinal fluids to expand. Quote, what we identified that no one else has really identified before is that there is a significant increase of volume in the brain's white matter from pre-flight to post-flight. This is what Dr. Larry Kramer, the study's lead author from the University of Texas, said. White matter, he said, expansion, in fact, is responsible for the largest increase in combined brain and cerebrospinal fluid volumes post-flight. Microgravity experienced by humans in space redirects blood from the arms and legs to the brain, making the pressure inside the skull increase, and the increased exposure to low gravity could cause the brain's volume to balloon and the pituitary gland, which is part of the endocrine system, to shrink. He said, we found that the pituitary gland loses height and is smaller post-flight than it was pre-flight. In addition, the dome of the pituitary gland is predominantly convex in astronauts without prior exposure to microgravity, but showed evidence of flattening or concave post-flight. This type of deformation is consistent with exposure to elevated intracranial pressure, Dr. Kramer said. The scientists also noticed that cerebral spinal fluid run faster through the brain than before the space trip. They attributed such brain changes to hydrocephalus, a condition found in people on Earth who are not astronauts. And of course, we know that condition is very, very dangerous. The brain ventricles enlarge anomalously, and researchers said changes may lead to walking issues, problems with bladder control, and a high risk of developing dementia. Researchers are now working to solve all these issues as space agencies prepare to launch manned missions to Mars. The journey to the red planet lasts between 200 to 300 days. Artificial gravity is one of the solutions that can be implemented with large centrifuges. Another option is to impose negative pressure on lower limbs to balance the head flow, the headward flow of the fluids. So that's obviously it's not good when you start having less gray matter to work with when you're in another planetary environment. You need all your wits about you, all your capacities about you. This is on Sputnik News. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.